Dolls are one of the most popular toys in the world. Dolls have been integral to world history, dating back to ancient civilizations. Wooden, metal, fabric, plastic, and porcelain dolls. There are many different types of them across cultures. Who didn't hear about the famous Russian matryoshka, for example? However, today we will discover the secrets of a less popular Slavic toy, a Faceless Talisman doll. Grab tea and cookies, dandelions, and prepare some fabric for craft making. We will delve into the origin of faceless dolls. When you hear a faceless doll, you probably imagine something from a horror movie. As creepy as this sounds without a cultural context, Slavic faceless dolls have positive nature. It isn't just a toy, but a sacred object which protects the home, wards off nasty spirits, and brings good luck and health. Faceless talisman dolls are mostly made from recycled household clothing or leftover fabric scraps. They must not have facial features because the evil spirits could inhabit almost anything, including dolls. Having no face represents that a talisman has no connection to a real human, so no evil entity can possess it and harm someone. Imagine sundown, a wooden peasant house called izba. Most of the chores are done, and the senior woman in the household collects herbs and scraps of fabric to sit down to create a talisman doll. It could be for her or her family members. Sometimes women friends would gather in a group to make dolls. It would be made with all natural materials, like wood, twigs, and straw. It is tedious work, but making a talisman at once is necessary. You can't finish half and return to the doll making the day after. Also, a woman couldn't start crafting in a bad mood, because it would pass the negative energy to the doll. Before making the doll, a cleansing ritual in the banya was essential for the woman. It is considered to be a meditative and spiritual activity after all. Afterward, she will wear fresh attire and have her hair meticulously groomed. The crafting of the doll was accompanied by incantations and prayers. Scissors and needles won't be used in the process. Any cutting would damage the doll's magic power. Fun fact, men weren't allowed in the process, even as observers. There are many types of this doll for different events in people's lives, but there are three main categories: dolls for play, ritual dolls, and amulet dolls. The most prominent example of the ritual doll is the scarecrow on the Slavic winter holiday Maslenitsa, or summer holiday Ivan Kupala. I have covered both of these holidays on my channel in the past. Dolls were a part of every milestone in the Slav's life. A doll called Pelenashka assisted a mother and a child during childbirth. This talisman looks like a little doll wrapped in a diaper and a girdle, and protects the baby from the evil eye, and is believed to help the mother during labor. The talisman doll Kubyshka Travnitsa will give the Slavs excellent health and purify the air. It is filled with different herbs like mint, lavender, thyme, oregano, and motherwort inside. When a couple got married, they received неразлучники doll as a gift. The talisman doll protects newlyweds. Its shared hand is inseparable, which symbolizes the unbreakable bond, just as the husband and wife will face life's challenges together through thick and thin. Another fascinating talisman doll is Desitiruchka. This doll has 10 hands to help the owner keep everything on time. It was a gift to a newly married woman to give her energy to keep up with house chores, as sexist as it sounds. Not married, not for chores, but I need this doll. Too many projects and only one of me. Fortunately, the tradition of making Slavic faceless talisman dolls has survived till today, and many artists and crafters still create them using traditional techniques and materials. All talisman dolls are dressed and decorated with intricate designs, folk embroidery, and beads. Sometimes people would put coins inside the talisman doll. There are dozens of talisman dolls for different events in Slavic tradition. I'll list only some in this episode, but feel free to write the occasion in the comments, dandelions, and I will follow up with the perfect doll fit for your situation. Anyway, one doll stands out and could be found in every Slavic household just a few hundred years ago. I talk about Krupinichka. This doll symbolizes prosperity and a well-fed life and was the head talisman of the house. The base of Krupinichka is a bag with seeds. When planting seeds, the Slavs used to take the first grains from the doll. When the harvest season was over, Krupinichka was filled with grain from the new harvest. She is so cool that she was kept near the icons, in the best corner of the house. A common practice was to include a man bagach, a male doll filled with grain alongside Krupinichka. However, the Slavs believed that female image is associated with crop production, as the earth gives birth to crops. I mean, a man bagach exists, but he isn't the main doll in this talisman powerhouse. Once any talisman doll is crafted, it is given a name. To carry out the ritual, place the doll in the middle of the table and repeat 9 times, "I name you," and pronounce the name. Then read the incantation that I don't know. For the talisman to work, you must build a bond with it, talk to it, and give presents like a piece of sugar or bread. Invest your time into relationships with your talisman doll, just as you would with Hermes store clerk to get a Birkin bag, and it will do its magic. Talisman dolls were often passed down through generations within families, sometimes remaining in their possession for several decades. However, suppose a talisman doll served its purpose, stopped working, or got damaged. You can't throw it into the garbage like any other household item in that situation. There is a particular way to say goodbye to your talisman doll. Firstly, you will thank the doll for all its hard work. Then, if the doll protected you from the evil eye, sickness, and misfortune, you have to burn it far away from home. However, suppose the doll is responsible for helping to attract wealth, prosperity, or love. In that case, it is better to recycle its parts, so the blessing stays with you in a new form. It is essential to pay attention to your feelings in the process. If you are hesitant to let go of the talisman, it might not be the right time to do so. Today, Slavic faceless talisman dolls have become popular collector's items in Eastern Europe, and many Slavs still use them as decoration in their homes, believing that they bring positive energy and good luck. Faceless dolls are a fascinating part of Slavic culture and a unique souvenir you can bring home from the trip. I guarantee no evil spirits are attached because the doll has no face. So, tell me, dandelions, would you like to have one of these cuties on your bookshelf?